Moses, it's great to see you, man. It's been a while because the first time you and I met, we met at a club, didn't we?
Yeah, we met at, I believe, Blue Suede Suits.
Yeah, man. And you are a master at what you do. How did you become a photographer, not just for some of the biggest clubs in Toronto and in Ontario, but also with celebrities too, man?
Well, it started when I was working in nightclubs as a promoter. We built a website, so partners and I were like thinking, okay, well, we have a website, all we're putting up is flyers. Why not put up some pictures? So the three of us were talking, and then all of a sudden, both of my partners were like, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Moses, you do it. And I was thinking, you want the guy who can't see to start taking pictures of people? I'm like, okay, but you're buying the camera. So that's how it started.
Okay, you just said something, which is one of the reasons why we're talking, and a certain something in your hand. What is the little secret that you have? Like I said, here you are, photographer. You go to the biggest clubs. You're on red carpets. You do it all. But there's a little secret that you do tell people, but some people go, are you kidding me?
Well, I'm legally blind. I have 20/200 vision, which classifies me being legally blind. Not blind, but according to the government and certain standards, I don't see well enough to drive or do other things like that.
Right down to in your hand?
Yeah, the cane is just, it's an ID cane so people know, because you wouldn't know by looking at me that I'm legally blind, but I do have lots of trouble seeing. I just adapted well.
How did that part, I mean, were you born like that, or was it something that developed over the years?
I was born with it. It's called Bilateral Optic Atrophy. It's pretty rare. Basically, my eyes are perfect. Nothing's wrong with my eyes. It's the optic nerve that's very weak and doesn't function properly. So it's just, it's hard to explain. Like, I've never seen any other way, so it's just different, right? I can see, but I can't see well.
So I was going to say, so somebody who is considered legally blind, how does he become a photographer? Like, how do you do it? Because like I said, I've seen your pictures. I've been in your pictures. You do amazing work. How do you do that?
Well, first, thank you very much. I honestly don't know. It's something like I said, I can see, but I see things differently. When it comes to me looking through the lens of a camera, I see better, and also because nightlife, my eyes are better at night. So I see things differently, and I capture what I see, and the lens helps me see a lot better. Thanks to autofocus too.
Yeah. Well, that definitely helps. But there's another reason why that we are talking, because it's not just about your fantastic career and your courage and your inspiration, what you've been able to do. You have something that's going on right now, GoFundMe, and there's a reason why, and it has to do with, if you want to grab it, and certain something that you have there that is actually going to not just help your career, but help your way of life. What's going on?
Well, these are called e-sight glasses. Basically, they help me see almost 20/20. For the first time in my life, I'm actually able to read a story to my son, which I've never been able to do. Being able to see him at a distance, like normally if my son is only 5 feet away, I can see him, but I can't. It's not like looking at him when he's a lot closer. I can't. He gets in a group of kids and I can't tell which one's him right away. So with this, I'm able to zoom in and see basically everything. It lets me be more normal.
I was going to ask you, and before we talk a little bit more about this, what was it like for you for the first time to actually see your son with these glasses? What was the experience like?
For me, it was pretty emotional, because like if he's close, I can see him, but I've never seen him at play, right? I hear it and everything like that. But finally, at the YMCA, when I took this for the first time to see him at the YMCA playing soccer and actually watch him kicking the ball, and it was like the emotion over me was like, I teared up, but it was like, I can't believe there's finally something to help me see. Like, I've always been praying for a surgery or something like that. Glasses, I never thought in my lifetime that it would happen. So to have it, it's like almost like a mini miracle.
So I want to go over again. What is it exactly, and how does this work?
Well, how this works here, it's basically a camera right here. And there's a couple sensors. The camera here is, I think, 21 megapixel camera, and what it does is it has two little screens in it. Basically, it's like watching an old school TV, the square TVs. And you can zoom in to anything, and it like zooms in 24 times. So you can go, like I can go and see, if you're 20 feet away, you look like a foot away from me, which lets me see. You can change the contrast for reading. for like my son, when I read him a story, what I'll do is I'll pause it, and then so that way I can zoom in, and then actually it lets you like look when I zoom in, it lets me look back and forth like I'm reading the book. It's right in front of me.
How did you discover this?
3 years ago, my wife and I saw a post, someone who was legally blind, similar condition as mine, was on YouTube, I believe, and there was the first version of these, and it was amazing. Like my wife said, "Oh, you got to see this." I'm like, so I looked at it, and I've been looking at it ever since. The first version I didn't want to get because it was really bulky. It came out really far, and it was you couldn't take it off. Like you couldn't tilt it up. These ones you can actually tilt up, so they're not in your face and field of view. So you can actually use them while you're walking around and stuff like that. The other ones were more primitive. Like they worked well, but it wasn't the same. So this is the third gen, and I went in to test them in December, and it was phenomenal. Like when I used them for the first time, my wife started crying, and before I even teared up, and it was like she's like, you can read the eye chart. I was able to read the eye chart, like 2020, and then I was able to see there was text under the 2020, like the manufacturer and stuff like that. I've never noticed any of that text. I could read the big E, and that's about it.
Now, we should let folks know that you've got a loaner right now. This does not belong to you, and that's what the GoFundMe is all about.
Yes, these are loaned from eSight, just to see if they're a really good company. They let you basically take them for a week to 2 week period, and then to see if they suit you and your needs. Because you try them at their offices, but you don't know unless you're using them at home, because to pay, $12,000, $15,000 for something and then find out it's not useful is a big hit. I just wish the government would
So this is why we're doing the GoFundMe. So you were just saying the price is for how much?
It ranges because it's 12,500 to 15,000, but because there's some features, extra stuff you can add on to it, where like for me, I'm light sensitive. So they're like sunglasses for it. It's a baffles, so I added that on. There's a battery pack and a whole bunch of stuff. But they're actually the best company for this is like eSight. I've researched all the other ones, and unfortunately they're expensive, but they do the job. And what would anybody pay for their eyesight? I mean, 80% of what we know comes from what we see.
And especially when you have a child, you want to watch that child grow up. You want to be able to see that. So how can we help with this GoFundMe? How does this work?
Basically, my wife started a GoFundMe. If you search on Google Moses Sousa GoFundMe, you'll find it, and you could just, if you can't donate, you can share. I'd appreciate that, and so would my family.
Okay, let's make sure we got the spelling right so people don't get confused.
It's MOSES SOUSA. All right.
And we're going to do this until we get the money for this. Look, some people have already been donating. Is there anything you want to say to those folks? Because, like I said, man, it's great to know that people do want to help out in something like this.
I want to thank everybody who's not only donated, but shared. It's been shared almost 500 times right now, and I really appreciate everything. Like, it's overwhelming. I mean, I think we have about just over $2,000 already, and it's been only like 2 weeks. And every dollar helps. No matter what, I'm going to get them, even if I have to take out a loan or whatever, because like my wife said, it's not even just for me, it's for my son. Yeah. So that's the reason I'm getting them. I mean, I could go life without having it, but I want him to have me be more involved in his life.
There you go, my friend. And of course, for folks who want to get in touch with you to be able to, you do your magic with the camera, how can they get in touch with you to get you involved with other clubs or red carpets or whatever else? How do they get in touch with you?
Basically, everything is at Club Catchers, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or on my website, clubcatcher.com.
Fantastic, my friend. Thank you so much, but more importantly, great to see you.
You as well. Great. Thanks very much, Rudy.